Welcome to the movie lore. Today, I will introduce to you a horror movie called The Deadly Virus Pandemic. The film is about an epidemic that infects people. It will become chaotic, unable to control its behavior, desire to kill, become dehumanized. What will humans have to do to get through that pandemic into a world of death? Invite friends to watch the movie. Jim and San, husband and wife, live in a busy city of San doing office work. Every 5 she only gets 10 days. They plan to have a vacation during her days off. Enzyme suddenly said that he was invited by a friend to film at the right time and he did not want to pass up this opportunity in the series of unemployed days. The Sad get out of bed to prepare to go to work. In it, Rim eat breakfast and Surf watch the video. He stopped at the video interviewing Dr. Wong about the Alvin virus, a virus that this doctor thinks is quite dangerous and needs to be isolated, not simply the common flu. The emergence of this virus at the present time is extremely convenient for development, Dr. Wong emphasized. Alvin is threatening public health and needs to be vigilant. After listening to the interview, he saw an old woman on the roof of a nearby house with a blood-stained dress and unruly hair. Looking at people at the gym asking if she's okay. But she did not answer. The words in the house calling for Rim to take her to work startled him. He asked her if she saw anything. But the Sand appeared bewildered, did not understand. The neighbor Mr. Lean went to the balcony to see the Jim and immediately greeted the Jim, seeing that his health did not seem to be good, so he told him to go to the hospital, but the man said that going to the hospital was useless. He had only a mild illness and would not have to go to the subway station to catch the train to work on the way. Both found the atmosphere on the street today very tense. Ambulance police are handling the crime scene of a man covered in blood, and on the stretcher is a corpse covered with a white towel covered in blood. After taking the Sand to the station, Rim stopped at a cafe near my house. Order a black coffee. While waiting for coffee, the old woman that Rim saw on the roof appeared in the shop and saw the old woman standing bewildered. A young man came to help. She spit in her face. Then she turned to take a tray of food that was being fried on a high fire and poured it on the chef. She scratched the cook's face in his screams of pain. But when she saw that, she was about to reassess, but she laughed foolishly at him. He was about to attack the young man, who was also mad by the old woman spitting, killing others who knew she was about to be the target and rushed out of the shop. She chased. Was hit and killed by a car. The movie got closer to the car. If the driver was okay, inside the driver was full of blood and smiled at him. From the roof of the house, a woman suddenly rushed down the street to die in front of him. Infected guests in the cafe surrounded the Jim, aggressively chasing him. He panicked and locked the door. He didn't know what happened to everyone. He called the Sand, but she didn't answer the phone. He turned on the TV to see what was going on, but the channels all lost signal from the loudspeakers of the government where he lived, broadcasting vulgar content. After the infected person said, Rim trembled and texted him asking where the Sand was. He will go there and tell her, don't go back to their place because it's not safe, people are going crazy and killing each other. The neighbor Mr. Lin was also infected. He suddenly attacked him from behind with scissors and cut off 2 of his fingers, put them in his mouth, chewed on the Jim, hit his head with a toaster, causing him to die in place. He bandaged his arm and ran out of the apartment, but outside, there were no better people everywhere. They are eager to win and kill people everywhere. He eventually fled the place on his motorbike with infected people chasing him behind. Meanwhile, the Sand is on the train to work. She is harassed by an elderly man. He kept talking to disturb her. She read the book. She was very upset and asked him to be quiet. Then she gave way to a little girl to avoid the annoying man. A man wearing sunglasses on a train suddenly used a pocket knife to stab many passengers on the train, causing blood to splatter. The whole ship was quickly dyed red with fishy blood. The healthy man restrained the man with the glasses, but then others on the ship were also infected. They go around killing each other. The train to the station should automatically open the door. The survivors rushed out of the Sand ship and quickly pulled a fat girl with an eye injury, but the girl was too scared to go. The man started talking to the Sand on the infected train. He angrily chased the Sand girl because he was carrying the fat girl, so he ran slowly. She bumped into a rough young man, but when she saw the fat girl injured her eye, she asked her about it. The Sand said that someone was trying to kill them. They didn't understand what was going on, but the man on the subway came to kill the young man. Brutally young. On the occasions when the fat girl ran to the back door, the subway staff saw them both calling for help but abandoned them and closed the door. They were ordered to close all the doors to the station because everyone was going crazy, and the lucky girl let go of the door before it slammed shut the Jim. After taking the car and running away, he heard on the radio warning about people going crazy, killing each other without finding the cause. Everywhere in the city were corpses and people going crazy killing people. People, breaking things. He ran for a long time, then stopped to bandage his wound, but he happened to see a group of infected teenagers tormenting a man. He saved him and chased them away, but then the man was infected. The madman asked him, why did he make them stop? The group of teenagers turned to throw stones at him. He quickly got in the car and ran away, cutting the girl and reaching a hospital. This place also has many injured people waiting for their turn to be examined. The girl wearing a blood stopper was taken to check on everyone at the hospital gathered. Watch the government's emergency announcement on TV. The situation in the country is very dangerous. The number of infected people is on the rise. A general who was giving a speech suddenly provoked his eyes to become black like patience. He took out a grenade and stuffed it into his subordinate's mouth. The grenade blew up the bad man's head in front of the people of the country, who were in the hospital after watching the announcement. Turned off, chaos began. Police had to use guns to suppress the man on the subway who also came to the hospital with a bloody axe he killed. The police broke the door to let the infected people. Another broke into the hospital to kill people. This time, they fled to the emergency stairs to call the gym by phone. She obtained from men who work at subways, underground gyms and other contacts. She informed the gym where she was hiding and he promised to come pick her up soon. While talking to Kazim, who began to hallucinate, he saw a mannequin's head lying still in the river, swinging a net. On his side, his eyes also started to water. This is a sign of an infected person. The girl that the sand saved was raped by an infected man in the subway. She also contracted the virus later and went to kill people. Infected people killed each other madly. The man who worked in the subway while looking for a place to hide was brutally murdered by the fat girl and other infected people. Sitting on the emergency stairs waiting for Rim was two infected person and man in subway spotted. She tries to hide from them. The man in the subway, determined to catch her after hiding, used a fire extinguisher to spray the man on the subway, using the fire extinguisher to extinguish him. When he kills him, other infected people can also break the door. The military doctor suddenly discovered the sandbag. He led her into his secret office. Here, he made her handcuff herself and disinfected her because he suspected she might be infected. He explained to her that he was trying to find a cure for people infected with the virus. He theorized that the reason the infected showed signs of crying was because they were fully aware of the terrible things they were doing, but they were unable to stop after cleaning the blood of the infected people. Infected on herself, Wang said that she was not infected possibly because she has immunity to the virus. Discovered an infected baby in the medical trash in the square room. But suddenly injected her neck with the blood of an infected person and locked her neck in the shower. Then he waited to see if she showed any signs of infection. If not, he would take her with him, then use her blood to develop a vaccine. While waiting for Kasain to show signs of infection, he said that he himself injected the children with the virus to check if they had antibodies. Infected, maybe they were more useful than letting the infected people. The disease killed. Cut inside texting Rim asking for help. The king saw that the sand showed no signs of infection, so he took her with them. They will leave here by helicopter waiting on the rooftop when they have just left the room. Then he discovered the man's axe in the subway. No longer in the body. At this time, suddenly, an infected person used an axe to cut him in the leg, shot him with a gun, and then ran to the place. But now he has also become a square infected person, using a cable gun to prevent him from using the sickle he carried to kill Hung. While Rim and Jiam were killing each other, Sam took the key from his pocket to open the door to the terrace before Rim chased to the sand standing behind the door asking Rim how does it feel to have the virus. Rim replied that she was great. He was resting. She opened the door for him but said she wanted to cut off her breasts, beat her face and peeled her skin, sobbing when she heard those words from the gym. Leaving him behind and rushing up the stairs to the hospital rooftop, the film ends with the sound of gunfire and a woman's scream. It seems to imply that the sand was killed by the soldiers waiting outside. This is the end of the movie. Hello and see you again.